Donald Trump has a new target this week. It is one of his oldest enemies, Nancy Pelosi. On Truth Social, Donald Trump erupted into one of his trademark rants, accusing Pelosi and her husband of beating every hedge fund in 2024. He says they beat all the Wall Street geniuses on insider information, and without missing a beat, Trump calls her a disgusting degenerate. Take a look at this. Quote, "Crooked Nancy Pelosi and her very interesting husband beat every hedge fund in 2024. In other words, these two very average minds beat all of the super geniuses on Wall Street, thousands of them. It's all inside information. Is anybody looking into this? She is a disgusting degenerate who impeached me twice on no grounds and lost. How are you feeling now, Nancy?" So let's take this in two parts. I would be fine with a rule banning all members of Congress and their spouses from trading individual stocks. I've said it before. Apply it to everybody. I am fine with that. The public has a right to be skeptical when lawmakers have access to non-public information and they make money in the market. I know you can say, well, it's illegal. There's the Stock Act plus insider trading laws. And yeah, I get it, that it's on paper illegal. If we've learned anything recently, it's that something being illegal on paper doesn't actually stop people unless there's an enforcement mechanism or they believe that they're going to be caught or they get in trouble for it. This is arguably a bipartisan thing. If you are writing laws that affect industry, you shouldn't profit from those laws. The idea that Pelosi is the corrupt, disgusting degenerate and Trump is not, that is like pot calling the kettle black. Trump is not an ethics reformer who wants to clean up Congress. Trump's the guy who spent his presidency using the office of the presidency as a personal ATM. $1.6 billion he made during his first term. Foreign governments booking rooms at his hotel while seeking policy favor. Son-in-law walking away with a $2 billion deal with the Saudis, and Trump's charity shut down for self-dealing as a slush fund. Trump's business convicted on tax fraud, all of it. If Trump really believed that profiting from public office was wrong, he could have started by holding himself accountable. He could have started by holding his family to the same standard he is demanding from Nancy Pelosi. But that's not the point of Trump's rant. The point is revenge. Nancy Pelosi was involved in Trump getting impeached twice. She humiliated him. He has never gotten over it. She stood behind him at the State of the Union and ripped up his speech and the entire thing. She marshaled the votes to impeach him for trying to pressure Ukraine into helping his campaign and for inciting an insurrection on January 6th. In Trump's mind, she can never be forgiven. So years later, she is living rent-free in Trump's head. He sees an opportunity to accuse her of corruption, and he takes it. And he knows his base is going to eat it up, and they're not going to question Trump's actions along these exact same lines. It is the same sort of fake populism that Trump's been selling for years. He goes, oh, the super geniuses on Wall Street were defeated. And he pretends to speak for the little guy. And he says, Pelosi's doing the wrong thing. But look at his policy. He pushes tax cuts for corporations. He makes life harder for working Americans. So I am fine with banning members of Congress from trading stock. I think doing it is actually harder than it sounds, but it can be done and it should be done. But if Trump wants to have that conversation, he's got to explain why the rules he wants for Pelosi shouldn't apply to him and everybody in his inner circle. Until then, this is nothing more than hypocrisy. And that's why his rants are sounding a little less like strength and a lot more like desperation. Your personal data is everywhere and you might not even know. People search sites and data brokers are quietly publishing your name, address, phone number, even things like property records, political views. It is not just creepy, it's dangerous because scammers and fraudsters and shady marketers can use this information every day. Our sponsor, Incogni, solves the problem for you. Incogni contacts the data broker sites on your behalf and forces them to delete your data. The data brokers are legally obligated to comply, and Incogni handles the entire process for you. Incogni is now taking this even further with their custom removals feature included in the unlimited plan. They've got their 250 plus sites where removal is automated. But if you find your information anywhere else, you can custom submit that and they will have it removed manually. This is serious protection. Using Incogni can cut way down on the spam calls and the messages that you get. Fewer risks, more control over your identity. Try it risk-free for 30 days and get 60% off an annual plan when you go to incogni.com/Pacman. The link is in the description.